Hello and welcome to Garblag Games. Tonight we have finally returned for part 2 of A Missing Boy, our first stop on Electric State Route 101. It's been 4 weeks, but we are back. We thought we wanted to get this in before Christmas. We've all been suffering a bit from lurgy and Christmas shopping experiences and all kinds of retail fun. Unfortunately, our Dune won't be with us tonight, but the rest of us are here, and I'm Pete, and I'm the Game Master.
I'm Dennis. I've brought along Real Cuban today.
Um, I'm Millie. I've got Blake Pittman.
Uh, I'm Rob, and I have Atticus Trent.
Ah, yes. Excellent. And last time, do a quick recap. We were heading out from Santa Clarita, and you were heading up Route 101 into Ventura when there had been some revolutionaries who had done an attack on this kind of old field of drone ships that they clearly were trying to harvest for neurine or weapons or something, and the local militia had intercepted them, and there was a big battle going on, fire and smoke going into the sky, and there was a road diversion, importantly, and you in your old touring van for, what was the band called, Nelly?
Oh,
Cocaine something.
It's just called Blake and the Pitmans or something.
it's something like Cocaine Sutra or
Oh
Sutra.
yeah, no, you had something weird, didn't you? Yeah, something really horrific.
Yeah.
Excellent. In your roomy and sturdy van, headed off, and you went on the diversion. There was a little moment where there was some fisticuffs around a traffic jam, but then you made your way onto the diversion that led you through the small town of Ojai, which used to have lovely boutique shops and little bed and breakfasts and all that kind of thing, but it's kind of closed down, all boarded up, and no one really was around, and it was dark, the middle of the night, and Blake saw a sign saying music festival, and then Reyes Creek campground, bed and breakfast, and you were all asleep, so Blake made a little diversion, and you headed off into the darkness, and you drove for longer than you were expecting, and finally got there, and there was a bonfire going off in this kind of entertainment area, sort of a little stage and benches all pushed to the sides, and you parked in a semicircular parking area with mock Western buildings around, with an office and a restaurant and a laundrette, and a big electricity substation kind of standing out, ruining the rustic feel. And you met Rufus and Anna, and you got a cabin number 3 for the night, and you thought you'd join the party when Jorge came running in, and his missing son Luca was somewhere in the woods, and you guys bravely accepted the challenge of trying to help finding this missing boy. And you headed up the trail, and you'd been told that he last met Bob and Margot. So you went to the RV. Everyone was very suspicious of Bob with his gun and his beer. Blake stole a beer. Atticus snuck round the back of the RV, listened, heard the hefty thrum of quite a lot of electronics in the RV, and then he came out and gave you some flashlights, and you guys went off into the woods. And after trundling through the woods and the flashlights sort of failing, and then you making a bit further, and you found this kind of little crevice, because remember it's kind of valley, ravine type thing. I'm going to say now, I'm going to cough a little bit during this, but the viewers won't be able to hear it. And the boy had fallen down a hole. At which point, you inserted Twonky into the hole, who was able to reach down and pull out. And for those who haven't been here before, Aldun is playing a drone pilot, so appears as the kind of yellow-headed, I can't remember the name of the character with the lightning bolt.
Johnny Flash or something, Johnny Blaze or something.
Yeah. And Aldun's meat sack is somewhere else off screen. We don't know where. So you pulled him out, and the dad was very happy. And you went back to the hut, and you then had a bit of a party. And you had a bit of a chat with some of the people, including, but not limited to, Trey Stevens, who was described as a survivalist, and you had been told that he had lots of guns and probably flashlights. So you'd look. No, Jorge had asked for him first, but you guys had helped him out. Then you saw Trey Stevens at the party, and you bumped into a few other people. There are a few stoners who were having fun, and there were some locals that people had a bit of a chat with. So it was kind of fun, low key, nothing crazy. Few drugs, few drinks, nothing crazy. And you decided, let's retire to our cabin. It's getting late. And I think before you went, Atticus tried to see if Trey knew any actual information or was a real military type. And you weren't sure, you're a bit on the fence, kind of seemed a bit nervous, inexperienced. So you went up to the cabin. You were all very tired after your tromping through the forest. And you went into cabin 3, and you all kind of just collapsed on different bits of furniture, I think. Rial was on one sofa, Atticus was on another. Twonky just kind of stood in front of Atticus and powered down. And Blake had gone and found the largest bed in the house and was snoring away upstairs. And it was Atticus who woke up because of his training when he heard the crack of trees being pushed over and the kind of hum of machinery, which reminded him of his time in the war and the sound of drone tanks pushing through heavy woodland. And he was standing at the doorway without realizing it and looking across the valley to where the pitches were, where Bob and Margot and Jorge and Luca are staying in their RV and tent. And you saw in the dark red glowing lights and moving shapes and something pushing things down. And you slowly, you kind of woke everybody up, and Twonky went into the global Neuroscape and saw some kind of strange, shimmering entity moving around. It was a kind of weird fractal distortion in the Neuroscape, and it just kind of collapsed in and disappeared on itself, which he will have told you about once he kind of comes out of it. But the three of you were standing there, and I think we ended with the camera looking into the cabin with your faces behind the glass, but the reflection of the red lights across the valley on the window as you're there, kind of staring across at this strange drone entity.
Very impressive. That would be an excellent sort of closing shot.
Yeah, it ended nicely, didn't it? It was just like, yeah, oh, perfect. As you just kind of pulled the little cutesy curtains apart, and then it was like, duh. Cool. So you are all standing in the cabin. You're all suddenly very aware of where all the weapons are, who's carrying them. You're all thinking about self-defense and danger. You've heard stories about these strange entities that wander the backwoods and the hills and the edges of kind of deserted towns and gather up folk who are trapped inside the Neuroscape or subvert them from inside the Neuroscape and then draw them in. So you're very loath to see this creature.
Bad vibes, man.
Understatement of the year.
Yeah, I've just woken up. Yeah. Should we be leaving?
Yeah.
I would say so.
Stat, as people don't say. We need to leave now.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's go.
Excellent.
You start gathering all your gear, right? And as you're doing it, suddenly you hear thum, 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 the sound of floodlights coming on. And Atticus, you run to the front window again. You look out, and you hadn't seen them before because it was dark. But it seems that dotted around the trees in a kind of almost circular fashion around the campground, these lights are coming on. And one's fairly close to the cabin. So if you were asleep upstairs, you probably would have woken up from this big light going off. And you kind of hear, you can kind of hear a general disturbance in the populated area down below. Maybe people moving around, doors moving, something like that. You're not sure. But then you all feel, more than see or hear, a hum in the ground. And as you watch, the thing, you can now see it slightly more clearly, but it's snippets of it between trees, and it's really far away. I believe you've got some binoculars, so someone gets them out, and you're all having a little look through the binoculars. But even it's like one of those tricky moments where it's so far away, a little gesture moves it, and you can't quite make it all out. Is that some sort of robotic leg? Hang on, are there tracks? There's a number of people on the ends of long cables. You can kind of see them, some of them just bumping into trees, and some of them are getting, the wires are getting tangled. And as this hum kind of changes note, the thing starts to move in the other direction away. And you hear trees snapping again, and the shuffling again in the distance. Shuffling figures seem to be moving away from the campsite.
Do I recognize this humming? Is it something I have come across before from the war?
Yes. You know that there are some military installations embed a cable around the outside of a facility, which if they run the right current through it and at the right frequency, then the electrical energy can disturb these entities, or apparently, and drones, right? So it's not infallible, and anyone heading at you in a big drone tank at full steam won't give a shit. But something wandering around in the woods slowly might be shooed off by this kind of thing. So some installations had them, but they went out of fashion because combat became so fast and dangerous that really they had little effect. So it's like an old... It's like
bump off recon drones, but
yeah, that kind of thing. Yeah, so like small groups probably would be deterred, but a serious attack would not be pushed back. But you haven't seen one of these in a while, actually. And again, a lot of this, Atticus, is kind of taking you back to those difficult times.
Yeah, that's not good for me.
You can see now lights, because your cabin has a really nice view. You've lucked out with cabin 3. But you've got a really good view out over the valley, and you can see the lights now coming on down in the main area, right? The kind of staff region, and then a few lights coming on over the other side, and then you're not sure about the other cabins, but you can see now, probably thinking about the position and where you were. That's probably the lights of Bob's RV coming on.
It's going away.
Starting.
Fuck Bob. Should we be leaving still, or should we stay? What? It's going away. Like.
Twonky says, "This is a unique opportunity."
For whom exactly?
To get dead.
Yeah.
It is gone. Long distance reconnaissance might be possible.
What's the deal with the lights all around us? Is that
They're like floodlights in the trees, like pointing outwards, right?
Away from us or towards us?
Well, a couple of them sort of point down and illuminate areas beneath them. Some of them point out.
Right. And again, I think Pete said something about bodies sort of dangling from cables
On the big
on the
thing.
big thing.
On the big thing that's walking away. And now,
No, that's
as you're
walking
looking,
away.
you can see it goes over the hill. And it's
That's
gone.
fine.
Almost like some fairy tale giant that's been turned away. It's in the darkness there. You can barely make out the shape of it. And the phone rings in the cabin.
I didn't order room service. This wasn't me.
Blake looks at at everybody else as if some help will answer the phone. Blake doesn't
Yeah, okay.
never hasn't answered phones for at least 10 years.
Yeah, I'll answer the phone. Hello, hello.
Oh, hey, this is Rufus. Dude, hey, the Anna asked me to call around all the cabins. And you guys okay? We just had a the thing appeared. It's gone now. Alert's over. Don't worry, everyone. We keep an eye out. We've got a tracking system and everything. It's all cool. It's all cool. You can tell he's reading. So he's trying to read something, but he's woken up after a couple of hours sleep, and he got absolutely mashed the night before. So he's just like struggling to read it. And you think he's smoking at the same time. So yeah, go back to sleep. It's all cool. The Reyes Creek campground is one of the most secure but independent campgrounds in the Ventura area.
To be fair, Rufus, doesn't matter how secure you are. If that thing happened to not go over the hill and came towards us, well, we would be soup.
Hey, big dude always goes back over the hill.
Oh, so this is a regular thing.
Oh, and regular might be a bit of a strong,
Okay.
word
Not
for it.
uncommon.
Like once a week.
Okay, so I mean, sure. Okay.
You'll be all right for 5 or 6 days.
That's peachy.
It goes around popping from global to local Neuroscapes, trying to like get in, find people. But if you're not in the Neuroscape, you're fine, dude. Don't worry about it for a start.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's a big tank thing with loads of people chained to it, and it's horrible. I wouldn't worry too much, dude. Like it's gonna be fine. It's always fine.
I've always found that things are always fine until they're not, Rufus.
Well, look, we keep the field on for like an hour, pushes him away, and then we turn all the lights off, and everyone goes back to sleep. It's
Right. So
A-okay.
the field is yours. You're responsible
Oh yeah,
for the field.
not mine, dude. Anna's. She, that's why we like this place. It's great. It's just a little cool hangout.
Oh, no. Okay, I completely get it now. Back to bed, everyone. Yeah,
Like,
I will
will
obviously if there's a hands-free facility, I'll press that button, or if not, I'll relay it to my
No, it's like an
associates.
old.
It's a 90s phone, isn't it?
Yeah. It's just like an old one. It's got a really long cord, so you can do it in the other room.
Oh, great. In case, when you were a kid and your mom and your girlfriend phones and you don't want to talk to them in front of your mom,
Exactly.
that kind of thing. Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, you put the phone down, or are you gonna carry on talking to him?
Rufus, if
Come down for breakfast
we-
in the morning. Chat to Anna about it. She'll put your mind at ease. Don't worry about it, dude. It's all cool. All cool.
Yeah, absolutely, sure. I will.
Did you
If
need
you
to
need
come up and
anything,
help you guys get to sleep?
that's just unnerving,
I
but
didn't mean it like
thank
that.
you.
I didn't mean it like that.
How
I've got
did
some
could
shit
you?
that helps you mellow out. Get back
Oh,
to sleep in
no,
no time.
I'm fine. Blake,
Yeah.
do you want some more weed from Rufus?
Don't have some class. Don't just say it like that, dude.
Oh, sorry. Rufus would like to help you get some sleep. Wink, wink.
My man.
My man.
I'd
He
rather
said,
have
quote,
weed.
unquote. Yeah.
I'd rather have weed, but yeah, sure. Blake is happy to do as many drugs as possible as long as he's not paying for them.
I think Rufus will wait till after breakfast for the medication. We'll
Have
get
it
back
your
to
way.
sleep if possible.
Okay. Cool. I mean, I've got a couple more people to talk to and settle some people down. You know, I've got to go and check on Bob and Margot as well.
One last thing,
There's real
Rufus.
close up there.
One last thing. If the ship goes down, I'm your first call, my friend.
Oh, okay. I mean, Trey's kind of put his name at the top of the emergency contact list. But like, do you want me to scrub, move? It's not magnets or anything. I have to draw. Oh man, how am I going to do this?
No, I'll be your second call.
Okay, cool. Okay.
Wouldn't want to offend Trey.
Abacus.
Never been called that before.
Atticus. Okay, cool, dude.
Sweet dreams now, Rufus.
Right, count those beads to sleep, dude. And he puts the phone down.
Yeah. Everything's fine. That happens quite regularly. The humming sound is our field, or Rufus's, Anna's field. And yeah. So Coco, anyone?
Yes, please. That's more than a little bit concerning, but
Everyone seems fine by that.
Twonky looks at you and without saying anything, powers down.
Night, Twonky. Night,
no,
John Boy.
Bonky.
Yeah. Well, if there is Coco, I will be affixing some Coco.
Okay.
I'm gonna pick Twonky up and face him into a corner.
Awesome. He's heavy.
Yeah, I imagine there
you
is
have
a
to
good
drag him across the floor.
20, 30 minutes of him
And
doing it by himself and the other two folks just watching
They're
him
not going to
struggle.
help. Yeah,
No.
No.
They're stirring their cocoa really slowly. It's kind of like a smash cut of like them just still standing there stirring and you pulling and
Like,
pulling.
Man, this Coco isn't dissolving.
The rug is caught under
thought.
his feet, and
Yeah.
eventually you're just like, I can't be asked. I'm done. He's in the corner, and yeah, you're proper tired now.
Yeah, I'm gonna go and sleep.
Cool. Okay, so you have some cocoa, you get back to sleep, and in the morning, the sun wakes up. Atticus, you wake up, do your morning, whatever it is you do. Being a veteran, you're probably there doing some push-ups or going for a little jog or something. I don't know what you're probably into.
Yeah, some sort of calisthenics.
Okay. So, Rial, you wake up to hear Atticus doing his morning movements. Blake's still snoring upstairs.
Morning, Atticus.
Morning. I suppose we go through that thing every morning of actually considering just leaving Blake where they're sleeping. But every day,
You actually have the car keys now. He's been
Yeah,
foolish
I-
enough to leave you with the car keys
Yeah.
at this stop. You could
One
just
day.
leave him.
Man, that would be harsh. First stop of the journey, leave one of the characters behind. That's a
You know.
record.
but every day we decide, not this time, maybe
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Not today.
Yeah. Your van's not too different than the work van I used to drive. So we can probably handle it. It'll be
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah. Let us, one day, maybe.
One
But
day,
not
maybe.
today.
It's an option. It's a box to tick in somewhere in the future.
Yeah. So, that weird stuff in the night. And
Yeah.
that's brutally awful. And everyone's just like, I'll read you some notes off this card, and that'll be it.
Yeah. You seem to be reasonably knowledgeable about the big thing, but they seem to just brush it off. That's-
Yeah. I don't think they've truly experienced the horror of these things.
Yeah. It's just another Tuesday for them, I guess.
Yeah. We'll have a chat with Rufus and Anna over breakfast.
Yeah, seems wise.
Is it my turn to wake him up, or is it yours?
I'll do it this time.
Don't tickle his feet. He gets awfully pissy if you do.
Okay, tickle his feet. Got you.
Okay, so you
I
head
go-
upstairs and tickle Blake's
I
feet.
go tickle Blake's feet.
There's some sort of like, but no, Susan, I don't like that. Like half asleep comment, and then he'll get up.
Cool.
Yeah. Are we eating? Is that the plan? And then we're leaving. We're not staying here, right? With those things.
I
This
have no
isn't-
intention of staying.
No, this is just a stop along the way. Let's go
Yeah.
have breakfast.
In some kind of um, image of the Blair robot project, Twonky's still standing in the corner facing the wall.
Do I tickle Twonky's feet now? Is this an unusual thing?
No. Just he might just wait there for a while you guys have breakfast. You never know, because he might be eating where he is.
Okay, I'm gonna just scribble on a piece of paper in that thing, scribble a piece of paper, and lick it, and then just stick it on Twonky, and just say.
I'm assuming somewhere on the front half of Twonky.
Yeah, absolutely.
Twonky.
Where he's,
Yeah.
or maybe in front of his eyes. Perhaps.
Yeah, on the wall. Right.
Yeah.
Just pin it on.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
On the wall, some gum, just stick it there and say "at breakfast."
Okay.
Not dead.
So the three of you get yourselves, looking half decent, and you head on down to the main area, right? And as you get down there, there are people sort of moving about. There's a few people you see get in a car and drive off, and Anna's there going, "Don't worry, everybody. Don't worry. Please look." Breakfast is on the house for everybody, and a few people instantly they're like, "Oh, free breakfast." They kind of go into the little restaurant, which is done up like a saloon type thing, right? With,
it's all like Frontier Village.
It's fake Frontier
stuff.
Village stuff. It's from ages ago, so it looks really, what people in the 50s thought westerns looked like. So it's a bit like in Back to the Future, where he's dressed, as Clint Eastwood, but he's got terrible clothes on. And they're, you go in and Rufus is cooking everyone breakfast. He seems to be like very, involved in the campground. You thought he was maybe just staying here, but it seems like he's staff. Maybe just hangs around and does things. You don't know. But you can see him through the windows cooking, handing out food. There's a couple of other people helping to wait tables. And there's a few people that go in there. You can see that. Sorry, let me just get my list of NPCs again. You can see that Nancy and Alex are in there. Healy and Devon are in there. Jorge and Luca are in there. And Trey is in there. Trey Stevens, Atticus's best buddy. And he gives you a little nod through the window, Atticus, like.
I'll throw that half-hearted salute thing his way.
Oh, he quickly does one back to you. And Anna comes over and sort of says to you guys, "Oh, where's your friend?"
Recharging, or I don't know, something.
Oh, okay. Right. No worries. Well, I suppose they won't really have much use of food anyway, right? Not here anyway.
No.
So look, sorry about last night. I got Rufus to call everyone around because I had to get the frequency right. Every time we cycle the power up, it kind of resets the system. I'm not knowledgeable in all these things. It's really old, right? But it seems to work. And look, to be honest with you, which I should have said last night, big dude like hangs out in the woods over the hills in the next valley and is often wandering around. We found that if we just use the field, he goes away. We got no need to like fight that thing, but this is like our place and we want to stay here, and it works. We've got some cameras out in the this. Oh god, one day all these bloody things are going to fail and all these wires are going to get chewed on by raccoons and I'm not going to be able to. Anyway, like there's some cameras, we keep an eye out, we have a watch, all that kind of stuff. Thank God Zip was on
What's it
last
doing
night.
out there?
I
Do you
don't
know
know.
what it's doing out there?
I don't know. Our last big dude incident was like a couple of years ago, but we haven't had a problem since then. So like he goes away. We don't want to interfere with him. When the floodlights come on, don't be in the local neurosphere. Right? There's a bit of a leftover frontier town neurosphere around here that a few people in the town, she sort of points over the thing, kind of keep going for tradition's sake. It doesn't seem to bother them. It's just sniffing around here for some reason. But maybe the electricity here, I don't know much about them, I'm sorry. But what I do know is the field works, and we have enough measures in place to see him before he's coming, because it's huge. So like I want you to just make sure that you feel, don't worry. You can stay here. He'll be gone for at least another few days, so it's it's all good. It's all good.
It's all good, except that it keeps coming back.
Yeah, but I don't know what to do about it. I can't take that thing on. We don't have people with enough fire. It's not like the militia come up here. They leave us to do what we want to do because we're in the hills, and it's exactly this kind of thing they don't come up here for. But we live here for a reason. We want to stay away from all that stuff. So we're caught between a rock and a hard place.
If you these things kind of live in neuroscapes and like our scape world, kind of both, don't they?
Yeah, some guy came through a little while back, and he was chatting about it. He'd been in the war, and he knew about drones, and he was talking about the fact that they emerge in like normally the global neurosphere. Because there's more minds in there, he was saying. And it's the unknown element of all those minds linked together that can like create this stuff. I don't know. But then they invade local neurospheres to capture people. I mean, that might all be a load of bullshit, but like that's the only thing I know about it. So I just advise everyone, if you see the lights come on and you hear the hum, get out of the local neurosphere, or if you can see anyone in the local neurosphere, get them out of it, because that they'll be in danger. Like it's going to take your soul danger, right? Like don't fuck around with this, yeah. But it can't come inside, so don't worry.
Have you considered that maybe you keeping that old 50s frontier town neuroscape active might be what's bringing it here? Is that luring it in?
I mean, I don't know. That's that makes as much sense as anything else in this fucking world, right? Who knows? Maybe that thing is like a tasty treat that it wants to go for.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But yeah, don't worry, I'm not going to be caught in any neuroscapes anytime soon.
She says, well, look, the guys in there, she points in at Nancy. Nancy and, I don't know, I can't see him, Omar. They're like server admins of the local neuroscape. So, if you feel free to have a chat with them if you want to. I think they ride around on horses in it.
Lovely.
I don't know.
Blake looks at the outside where you could ride around on horses.
I know. Yeah, she looks. She's like, I know. I think there's other stuff going on in there as well. I don't know. I'm not too fussed about all that kind of thing. I like the smell of the real air, the trees, the water between my toes when I walk in the creek. It's I don't need all that shit, but
No, agreed.
So the people hanging down from that
Big chunk.
She looks like a dark look comes over her face and a sad expression. She's like, from everything they say, those folk are gone, right? They're like absorbed into it in the neuroscape. I don't know.
Any of your people?
As I said, the last incident we had was a couple of years ago.
So no.
Young lad Just didn't take his Neurocaster off in time.
But those people were physically attached. They weren't. So
Yeah, but it gets you to come.
oh right, okay.
He was seen walking off into the woods.
Hold
Didn't come back.
on a minute. The little boy.
Any of you wearing Neurocasters? Any of you got
No.
any? Who's? Oh no, that's fine. Like, yeah, sorry. Your friend, what's his face, won't be a risk for that.
Sorry, the boy who ran off.
Luca, he's in the restaurant.
Did anyone sort of engage with him about why he ran off?
He just went exploring, didn't he? You didn't
Maybe
really.
maybe should we talk to Luca?
He was a bit distressed, and I think he was hurt, so he was taken away. You know,
Yeah, his dad was pretty
his
concerned,
dad
wasn't
took
he?
him off and patched him up, and then you guys were like, "Okay, well, we'll see you tomorrow."
Well, it's tomorrow now.
It sure is. Are you going to walk in with the saloon doors like, "Phoom"?
Oh God, yeah.
Okay. Rufus, standing at the bar, quickly grabs a cloth and starts cleaning a glass like this.
Yeah.
What'll it be? All
One
day
breakfast, please.
Yeah.
Please.
Sure. We'll get you some breakfast. You guys, take the window seat. It's a good spot. Coffee.
Sure.
Please.
Okay. It comes, a few minutes later, there's coffee, there's breakfast, there's someone's frying shit out back, and you get like it's not fancy food, but it's proper grub. So you tuck into eggs, bacon, fried bread, that kind of stuff.
Bread.
Pancakes.
Yeah. It's the 90s.
Pancakes.
Yeah, short stack with maple syrup. And there's a jug of water on the table and a load of coffees. And he's like, "Oh man, last night, big dude gave us all a fright, right? Like,
I'll
crazy. But like, good job. Zip was on,
Yep.
started it all up and got Anna. That old machine,
Ah,
Anyway, good job no one got, I don't know what they call it. Yeah. Good job no one wandered off.
The kid Luca, is he like his Neuroscape shit?
Were you asking Rufus?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, the kid's got one, right? Like, which kid hasn't, right? But, like, I haven't seen him wearing it while he's here. I'd have seen it, but, like, I think they like nature and shit, So, hey, it's a beautiful world. How about you?
Yeah.
You guys like to neuro stuff?
Not anymore.
No, dude. What happened?
likewise.
Oh, dude, there's a story there. We're gonna have to have a drink later, and you're gonna have to tell me.
It's going to involve a lot of drinks for me able to tell
Okay.
that story.
This I can do. But yeah, I don't know. He's a good kid. Like, he gestures over his shoulder to where he's kind of sitting, sort of further away. Yeah, good kid. He's busted a leg up, but hey, we can just sit around and enjoy nature rather than all that hiking fun.
Yeah.
Get a bit sweaty for me, but yeah.
Just come out of the kitchen. Like,
Yeah, he's like dripping.
Covered
His
in-
beard has kind of got grease in it, and he's
Yeah.
just like, yeah,
too sweaty to go walking.
yeah.
All right. So
Anything
what?
else?
Not from Rufus. Not for
He heads
me.
off to the thing, and you three are sitting there. You can see out the window. It's another beautiful day with clear skies. Just the odd little cloud in the sky. Apart from, there's just still there out the window. You can see that dark smear of cloud or smoke coming from far away. It's become that big that you can even see just a little bit.
Blake will lean forwards, conspiracy, totally like under the radar, not under the radar, like very like obviously kind of conspiracy sort of talk, and be like, "This place is fucked, right?" the big man thing is going to come back, and then the fires that are over there are going to fuck it all up, and these people are, it's all doomed, right?
Yeah, one day. One day
So-
that field's not going to work.
And it'll be because of a couple of raccoons,
Yeah.
a couple of trash pandas.
And the robot's going to have a whole bunch more friends.
And I don't think we should tell them.
I think they, at some level, know they're just very much in denial about it and just
Yeah.
hiding here.
And who are we to ruin what little joy they have left?
Yeah.
Blake, that was a rhetorical question. But feel free
Yeah,
to
Blake.
answer.
Blake opens up his book, like this book he's been writing in. He's
Oh,
crossing
God.
out shit. You know, he's obviously writing his own manifesto or something in it, and he was about to, but Atticus sort of book back in his
Getting
pocket.
used to Blake's outbursts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like a siren. It's like sings this song on the Neuroscape and lures them off and hangs them out to sea.
Yeah.
It might be sort of interesting. Someone to actually be on the local scape when that thing turned up.
Well, Twonky can't do it.
Oh yeah, well, I have sort of, I just couldn't too many flashbacks, but and it sounds like Rael has an awful past with the Neuroscape. So maybe, Blake, you might, it might be a thing you want to do next time.
No,
Just now.
Cool. Can we talk to Luca? Luca!
You're aware of some shuffling feet as you're there, and Blake says, nope. You hear some shuffling feet, and as you turn around, you can see that Jorge is kind of pushing Luca forward. He's going, go on, go on.
oh
And Luca
gosh.
comes over and kind of says, thank you so much for helping me last night. Where's he gone?
Yeah, but powered down, I think, for the for the moment.
Okay. Yeah, they do need to recharge every 18.3 hours.
Exactly 80.3 hours is correct.
Sure.
If-
Well, look, thank you guys for helping me. And if there's anything we can do to help you out, then just let us know. And he kind of looks at his dad, and his dad's like, yeah, oh, yeah. And it would be great if you stay and we can hang around and chat to each other a bit more today. And then he kind of runs back to his dad, and he's like, thanks so much, guys. It really means a lot to me. Not many people will go wandering out in the woods in the middle of the night to help you find their lost son. So I appreciate it.
I'm sure we've all lost people who I wouldn't want you to
We
add to the list.
we slept through the whole thing last night because we were so tired. But like we come down this morning and we were told that there's like some thing, and you realise he's kind of covering his kid's ears. There was something last night.
yeah,
Something
something.
huge.
Big dude.
Huge and terrifying.
Okay. Should this be the end of our stay at the campground, do you think? Okay.
I'd say so. I'd say so.
Good job we weren't in the Neuroscape last night then.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd just go ahead and just throw away all, when he does the sort of helmet things. Just chuck him in the creek.
How
Just-
much that cost? When we're not out here, this is the only time when he doesn't wear it, isn't it? And he looks down at Luca. He's like, "Oh, Dad, all the kids' Neurocast is great fun. You can go to all different worlds and play all kinds of different games. One game I was this giant creature," and he's like, "Okay, son, thanks. That's fine." He said, "Look, thank you very much for all your help. Yeah, I really appreciate it. I have nothing to offer you. I'm sorry. I have no real money or anything really to offer you apart from my thanks. So thank you." And he kind of you can tell he's very embarrassed, and he kind of turns away quickly with his son, and they head towards the door. and he's going, "You did really well." You hear him say, "You did really well," as they go out and they head out, and you see them sort of walk over to head up towards where their tent and their car pitched to. I think it was, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they kind of head off. So you guys are sitting there, and what do you want to do? You eat your breakfast. You know, it's very tasty, if completely not good for you. You know, your cholesterol just went up.
3 points higher.
Yeah. And you kind of finish, and you can see Anna moving about in the parking area. She's going between the office and the substation. Rufus is moving around. A few of the other locals are there, and Trey Stevens is still there, just sort of drinking coffee and reading. He's like going through a little manual. It's like one of these little survivalist guides, you know. It's got like a very muted, slightly camo effect cover,
Of course
you
it
know,
has.
and he's kind of leafing through it, and you see he's making notes.
He's like the survivalist Blake.
yeah, yeah. He's called Blatticus.
Yeah.
I feel like he's ripe for conversion into the cult of the cult of Blake.
No, he's a rival cult. He must be eradicated.
Oh,
Um,
a cult of one.
yes, a cult of personality. Blake, I know we said like collectively we should just not tell folks to that it's doomed and that kind of stuff, but Blake can't help himself. So the people he was getting like stoned and high and whatever with, he's
Okay.
gonna sort of like in the guise of, look, I'm just gonna say goodbye to these folks before we go.
Yeah.
And it's probably also in the sort of like, I'm gonna try and scrounge as many beers, cigarettes, drugs, whatever I can before I go, kind of thing. But ultimately, he's going to be like, throw your Neurocasters in the ocean and get out of here while you can. Don't ever go back. You know, like he's going down the fairly sort of like no routine
Okay.
as he's doing it.
You find the stoners,
Yeah.
and they're like, they're not in a good way. They're
No.
kind of hiding in the corner, but Rufus has given them plenty of food and coffee, in a kind of on the house kind of style, probably. And they're kind of slowly picking at the food, and one of them is kind of just very quiet and just sort of burping into his hand slowly in the corner. Whoa, like this.
Classic.
And the other one, Zip, is asleep on this kind of you know, sort of
Futon.
sofa kind of thing. And there's one other guy there, and he kind of looks up at you and he's like, hey, that was quite a night, wasn't it? Like the whole thing. Two things.
The two
Party
things.
and big dude. Like special night.
No, bad night, bad vibes.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, oh man, Brad.
What's Brad got to do with the bad vibes?
Like last guy who followed big dude out into the nothing.
Well, last night?
No, like, what year is it?
I don't know. Blake
Ages ago.
probably doesn't actually know.
Ages ago, like, you know, a year ago or something. I don't know. Like out, yeah.
Well, you just got up and walked out?
He had his thing on. He didn't take it off. He just walked out.
Why do you even? Why was? Do you still have the
Seen
the
the
stuff?
shit they get up to in the local Neuroscape.
No, thank
like
you.
It's like grown up stuff.
So not horse riding then.
Well, if you're a centaur,
Blake's just like,
I don't know,
What?
dude. I don't know. This nothing to do with me. I've never been in there.
Good. Don't. That shit's gonna
They're a bit weird.
scoop you up like.
Like local neuroscopes
Spaghettis.
get weird, man. I've been in a few of them, right, and that like they kind of get like a bit growing in on themselves, and they're like going around in little circles, becoming like extreme versions of themselves and doing like weird things, and that's not real, so they can do whatever they want. It's kind of weird, man. It stretches your brain in a different direction, like this way, rather than that way.
Well, yeah. Blake's still like.
This guy's pupils are really big at the moment.
Yeah, no, but Blake is also like, what? And he comes right, he goes, centaurs? What? I don't
know. I don't
What?
know. Rufus
look,
told me he had a crazy night in there one night and just didn't ever want to go back.
don't
It
go
was
back.
like amazing, but also like too much. That's what he said. Too
don't-
much.
don't-
He just kept saying too much, too
Yeah,
much as he went to sleep. It was like weird.
Look, for your sake and the future of humanity's sake, don't ever go in there again.
I mean, I
You
don't
should
want
all you should all pack up and get away from this place.
What? Like free breakfast, dude. It's like what? I'm good. Like, are you worried about Big Dude? They got the thing.
And like there's a moment where Blake is like, yeah, but then also in the self-serving kind of way, he goes, no, I'm worried about you and your and then he goes into his whole devotee,
Okay, right.
that kind of
Yeah.
rant and that kind of stuff.
Man, you're making a lot of sense to me right now. This is the shit I need to hear in the morning. You're keeping me alive right now.
Yeah. Do you have a map? Or
Oh, a real paper map? No. They got like walk away.
because I'm gonna like what he wants to do is like start telling people where to come and meet him. Like
Where are you going, dude?
I Millie don't know where Blake wants.
Sacramento.
Sacramento. Okay.
The River Delta, isn't it?
Yeah. Look, there's a place, and I'm heading out this
I've
way,
heard about that place, man.
and you should come,
It's like that's like
and you should leave, and
Nirvana.
if there's a Neurocaster around, he'll kick it. You should leave this shit behind. And you should come and be
it's
safe.
lying around on the floor.
Yeah, because the stoners, right? They'll just
Some
put one down.
Yeah, they've got one on the floor.
Yeah.
Dude,
kicks-
don't kick it.
and he'll be like, I'll go and put a pin in the map. I saw, Adam must have had a map in the reception or something. Like,
There's probably a map in here, right, for the
Yeah.
local area. There's not for like to
no,
get to...
but he'll just put like a pin
Okay,
on the,
right, okay.
like this way, kind of thing.
Okay. You need some
uh,
like string.
Yeah, yeah. And while he's there, he's going to try and pocket any drugs. I don't know if you want me to roll any dice for that, but he's going to try
Yes,
and.
I'd like you to make an agility roll.
Okay.
There's some shit on the table. Nothing crazy. This
Yeah,
is like
no,
a
he's just
few
gonna-
spliffs and on the table.
No,
that they're
no
trying to
successes. I rolled
Okay.
3 ones. I don't think that matters.
hide. Yeah. Okay. You trip over the Neurocaster,
Yeah.
and you bump into Zip, who stirs in his sleep. And the third dude says, "Like, don't mess with Zip. He was up all night and he saw Big Dude, so he needs to seize."
Yeah. And Blake will slightly, he's workshopping it. He didn't think he had.
He holds a spliff up and he goes, "Hey, do you
Yeah,
partake?"
He takes it and leaves. Like I
Cool.
know he was like trying
you
to
should-
start a party.
You
But he
should
takes
smoke
it and
that.
leaves.
And he says, and he picks up the Neurocaster and then go in here.
No, and he walks out. Yeah.
Are you leaving the restaurant or are you going back to their table? Or are you all kind of going somewhere?
I don't know if the other two have gone anywhere, but he will go outside. Like
While that was going on then, so you guys see Blake walk off, talk to the stoners in the corner, clearly trying to scab some drugs or something. What do you 2 want to do?
Probably finish breakfast, and since the plan was to move on, Rael's nothing if not practical. He'll probably start trying to drag Twonky onto the van. As he's able, however long that's going to take.
So you're going to drive the van up to the cabin?
No, because I don't have the keys, so I'll be dragging Twonky.
Okay.
At least outside, ready for the van to pick him up.
Okay. So you're going to go and get packed and stuff.
Yeah,
Not
probably.
that you unpacked, really. It's all in the van. But you're going to get Twonky out the front of the house.
Yeah.
Okay.
Prep.
Cool. You can do that. When you get up to the cabin, you kind of approach the front door and you look in the window and Twonky's still standing there looking in the corner, which is weird, right? Because Twonky would have been awake by now. But you go in and you start to haul him in the other direction, ripping the rug on the floor.
It's all right.
And bring him outside onto the little porch. And you kind of stand him next to the little, railing. He kind of looks like he's staring out across the valley. And you hear a gunshot from across the valley.
Okay. I probably instinctively draw my own gun. Look round.
Shit, you've got a gun, yeah. Sorry.
It's a distant
Oh yeah.
shot.
So at the other side of the valley, you hear a gunshot, really far away.
Is it the direction that big dude went in?
In so much as, in that direction.
Oh. Uh-oh.
And is that direction towards Sacramento?
No. At right angle to Sacramento, that direction. Yeah, you're like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not unusual. We're going to hear gunshots from time to time, isn't there?
I suppose so, yeah.
This is America.
That too.
That's true. Someone might be out hunting, but it's quite it's quite an isolated area. But there's the town as well. Remember, so people might be out there.
Yeah, I'll probably just momentarily put me on edge, just
Okay.
making sure, okay, this is just one isolated shot off in the distance.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing else happens afterwards.
Then-
No, nothing seems to happen afterwards. You just hear a gunshot over in that direction.
Does anyone else react to this?
Down where are you, Atticus? You're down at the restaurant.
Yeah, I'm still at the diner. Yeah.
You're probably there's too much noise around you for you to hear it. Really.
Okay, righto.
It's like a pistol shot off in the distance, So you won't have heard that. Okay, Rial. So you get Twonky ready, and you just kind of check around the cabin to make sure no one's kind of left anything. Blake seems to have nicked stuff from people and kept it at the cabin. You kind of put that in a bin bag and bring it out the front.
What is Blake doing with my secateurs? What was he planning on doing? Nah.
They would be nasty in a close combat situation.
I suppose.
Yeah.
That's probably not why Blake's picked them up.
Okay. And so Blake, you come back over to Atticus, and Rial has gone.
Yeah, I don't even ask. I'd be like, none of them none of them realize the danger they can't see it.
Well, they're aware of
No,
it, but
no, but
you're saying this
that's
out loud.
Blake.
Okay,
That's
right,
Blake.
okay.
He's not he's
Sorry.
having this they can't see the truth that's plainly in front of them. They're a bit of a strung out moment, probably smoking.
How loud are you saying that?
No, it's faux conspiratorial, sort of across the table at Atticus,
Right, hang on.
kind of.
Let me make a roll.
Okay.
Oh. A lady called Nancy leans over from a nearby table and says, like, most of us are clearing out of here today or in the next couple of days. From what they said, Big Dude's not that big a problem. We know, like, not to go near it, right? But, like, I live in town, you know. I just come in here to check the node occasionally and then head back.
Blake will look at Blake's face is like, who rattled your cage? Like, he is literally like, he was mid-rant, and there's this wonderful
And she goes,
person.
oh, she's like, oh, sorry. Realizes she's just overheard you ranting louder than you thought you were. And kind of she goes, oh, sorry. And she turns back, drinks her coffee and, oh, shit.
Yeah, unless Atticus wants to talk to Blake, he will just storm off in a sort of hysterical moment of whatever.
I've seen this before, and I
Yes,
will,
frequently.
finish my coffee.
So
And
are you now alone, Atticus?
Yeah.
Okay. In which case, Trey Stevens comes over and slides into the chair opposite you.
Morning, Trey.
It's moved off into the hills.
The big thing.
I'm going out there to observe it later. I
Really?
could
You
really
think
do with
that's
some
wise?
backup. I'm not going to try and confront it, but I want to know why this thing is hanging around here. I heard reports that this thing was coming around this campground.
And is this why you're here?
Well, yeah. I mean, like it's weird, right? It's like interesting, a challenge. Like like what the fuck are they?
Oh, Trey. One, the world's fucking weird. Two, who cares? It's just another way to get yourself killed quick. I will not be coming with you, my friend.
Man, I could really do with backup. Like, I don't know what. Like, how much is your time worth? Like $200?
I'm not a
$300?
All right. So what are you gonna do?
I just want to track it and see what it's doing. Like, record some of its movements, you know. Maybe, like, jump in the Neuroscape, check it out, you know, see what's
In the
going
local
on.
Neuroscape.
I don't know.
From what I understand, Trey, it's when you're in the local scape that you get summoned to be to
See,
it.
yeah, already earning that $300. Like shit like that. You know, I need your experience. And you've probably been in situations like this 100 times. I could really learn from you, man.
I think my friends have other plans. I mean, I would we come as a kind of package deal. I'm not trying to gouge you, Trey, but well, I'll need a consensus from my friends. You wait there
okay.
now, and
Sure.
I'll talk to them and see if they have as much of a wish to scout out the giant killing machine as you.
From a distance.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, I mean, sure, I get it. I get we all want to challenge ourselves and you know, say we've been there and done it. But Trey, I've been there and done it. And I don't want to do it anymore. But I'll talk to my friends.
He looks kind of disappointed when you say that last bit. That you don't want to do it anymore. Almost like he's looking at you in a different way.
All right, yeah.
He's like, okay, man. Okay, well, you talk to your friends.
Hmm?
And you let me know.
Absolutely. Yeah, morning. And I'll follow after Flouncy Blake.
Yeah. So you follow Blake out. Blake, where's Blake going? Back up to the cabin? You're on mute.
He's going to go and shout at Twonky.
Okay, right. So when you go up to the, it just so happens Rial has moved off. Rial's inside the cabin at this moment, popped to the loo or something.
Probably.
And as you arrive, Twonky's obviously come out of the cabin and is standing at the railing looking out across the valley. You don't know Rial has moved him there, and you just see Twonky standing at the railing.
Yeah. Which probably completely throws him because he wasn't expecting him to have moved.
Yeah.
Um,
Or you think, oh, he's woken up and he's moved.
yeah, either that or he's woken up. He's like waiting for us. And so, yeah, he'll flounce off, and obviously he's doing that like hysterical kind of diva frontman muttering to himself kind of thing. And then he'll like march up to him, and it's like, you can't just collect people. And you know, he's just having a bit, and there's a couple of things he'll rant about. The big chap can't just collect followers by stealing them from the Neuroscape. B, people don't even know who you really are. It's just your face and they don't know you. Why do people recognize you? So there's a whole level of like, Blake's supposed to be the famous person, but he's not supposed to be the famous person.
Yeah.
But Twonky is recognizable because he looks like the famous thing. And he's just, yeah,
That's
so
a
he just,
frustration.
yeah, loads of like tantrums, probably a bit hungover and very stressed. And at some point, like Blake won't even realize that Twonky isn't listening, which makes it worse.
And doesn't also realise that Rial is standing at the balcony upstairs looking out at you ranting at Twonky.
Yeah.
Inanimate Twonky.
Yeah. So he is just having like a moment.
Awesome.
I think if Adun was here and Adun, maybe we'll ask him on the Discord, like it would raise, like, because there's a tension level, right?
Yeah,
Mechanically,
yeah,
like
yeah.
like he would absolutely, for all the reasons of everything, Blake would raise the tension because
Okay.
he's just getting that much more annoyed.
Sure. Sounds good.
Whatever this cult, because that's what it is to Blake. It's it's this thing is collecting a cult where Blake isn't, and that's what he wants.
Yeah, he's jealous.
Yeah, jealousy,
Yeah,
but also then on the opposite side, Blake doesn't want to be recognized for being the front man.
Sure.
But how dare anybody else be recognized and be the kid wanted to see Twonky more than he wanted to see Blake.
Yeah.
And how dare anybody have that situation? So
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay. So you're doing that.
yeah,
Atticus, you're heading back. Blake stormed off, right? So you're heading back up the trail to catch up to him. You're about halfway back when all the floodlights come on again. And you can
I'll
hear
start.
in the distance noise on the other side of the valley. And you hear some screams from down at the town. You're halfway.
Is this? Is that the field kicking back in?
No, that's the sound of the drone.
Okay, that's the sound. And that, sorry to be, it's the drone, the big dude.
Drone is big dude.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like a drone that's added bits to itself and then got the leads coming out.
Okay. Where's the van?
The van's down in the town. Parked
Yeah.
down
Okay.
there.
I run that way.
Yeah, you run down that way. As you do, Rial and Blake, you're aware of this as well, and you guys have got a view across the valley, if you remember from last time, and you can see now that the big dude, this giant drone, seems to have like a tank track lower body, but then it's kind of got like large pylons built upwards to another drone body at the top. So it's kind of got a hollow sort of stanchion through the middle, and then this kind of thing with lots of added bits onto it that almost look like bulbous growths, but they're not. It's mechanical. And then there's all these tendrils coming out from inside underneath of that, between the kind of four struts going up to the top half and going out to figures in the woods. You can't tell how many. And they are approaching the campground. And as they are, and as Atticus, you run down to the back down to the town, you hear Rufus saying, "Big dude never comes in the day." And then there's woo, 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 as the field is switched on. And you can feel it. You can't hear it. You can feel it. And it's like being modulated. You're guessing that Anna's got some sort of control device. And everyone in the restaurant is like scared. And they all start running to their vehicles and start like jumping in them. And some of them are like, "No, we've left all our stuff up there." And Atticus comes running down. You come running down, and you see Jorge and Luca. They'd started walking up the other side, but they come running back, and they're like, he's carrying the boy, and he's like, "We can't go up there. It's back, it's back." And Rufus is like, "Everybody, calm down. Don't worry. Big dude will go away. Big dude will go away." Rial and Blake, you can see Big Dude is not going away. And as Jorge and Luca come down, they see you, Atticus, and they're running over as you're heading towards your van, and they kind of meet you there, and they're like, "Bob and Margot are up there," says the boy with like tears in his eyes. They're up there on their own. And Jorge's like, I couldn't do it. There's nothing I can do. You can see he's like stuffed a few things in his pockets, and he's just run down with his boy. And he's like, I'm just like, and like, you're there with the van, Atticus. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, I'm not really engaging with them. I'm just my
They just say
military.
it. They kind of say it to you.
Yeah,
You know.
I open the door, the truck door. I presume it's like a truck that has a actual door on the passenger side and driver's side.
Mhm.
And I just basically start manhandling them in,
Okay.
and shove them in, get in there,
Okay.
3-point turn, and start driving up to the other two in the hut.
Okay. So while that's going on, Rial and Blake, you are up at the cabin, and you can see across now that the thing seems to be struggling against something you can't see. And the little figures on the ends of these long cords are shuffling around, and you can see the cord. You can tell more by where the cords are going, right? Because the figures are down in amongst the trees. It's hard for you to see them during the daytime. And the cords are kind of swaying one way then the other, and then they kind of fan out, and you can see that it almost starts leaning forwards. What do you guys want to do? You can hear panic going on in the town, and people are revving their cars, and some people are driving off. Atticus is down there with the keys to the van.
Yeah, it's at this point I realise I've not got my car keys, my van keys.
Yeah.
Can we see, like, our van or the parking spot? Can we see what Atticus
There's
is
lots of
doing?
trees in the way, but you kind of see, yes, you can see the movement, and the van is now, you don't see him get other people into the van, but you see now the van like reverse away from the buildings and then start coming up.
Well, obviously we're going to drag Twonky to the roadside, off the balcony or whatever, off the veranda or whatever this is,
Yeah,
right up to the roadside, and be like, shouldn't have stayed for breakfast, and start, like,
It was free breakfast, though. Free.
it's just never stay for breakfast, like whatever Torah, advice is.
Never pass up a free meal.
Yeah.
As you're watching, you guys see a rocket fly out from the trees near pitch 3 and fly into the drone.
Pitch 3 was Bob and Margot.
Yep.
And they had the humming thing going on in their van.
Yeah.
And what happens?
There's a bit of an explosion. You're aware of it, like it's in your peripheral vision off to the side as you're driving up the track to the cabins. You kind of see like an explosion, but you're like, I'm not going to turn my full attention because I'll crash the van. And the kid's like, cool. Don't worry. Don't worry. Someone's like, was that Bob? Go, Bob.
Bob's got a rocket launcher? That's terrifying.
Something that probably needs discussing.
Yeah. So the plan is to bug out, right? We're just going to bug out and do one as fast as we can. We don't want to be here when this hits the smaller fan that is attached to the larger fan we're on.
Yes. That's my vote.
Okay. Just checking, because if not, we don't have to. But that was what Blake would like to do.
Same.
However, he doesn't have his keys. So yeah, I think Blake's just going to grab as much as he can, like, because we need
You
stuff.
didn't really have a lot, did you?
Yeah. So if there's anything, hotel room, tour room, trash sort of thing.
Yeah, there's some like bathroom stuff, that kind of thing. There's a bowl of fruit on the side.
Yeah, that,
but there's
a
no
blanket.
real kind of stock of food or anything, because they have got their little. They try to
they've got their
encourage you to
kitchen.
eat on site rather than bring food in.
Yeah, but like the blanket or a throw off the
Blankets,
couch
yeah,
or something,
yeah.
like that kind of stuff.
Sure.
Nothing too comfortable.
Okay.
But like he's just gonna take it. Like
The van screeches up through the gravel in front of the cabin, and Atticus jumps out.
Unaware that there are probably people in the back of the van now, but I'm going to open the side door or the back doors and start just.
You open
this pillow and this comforter I've got. I'm going to open it and not look and launch it in, because I don't know there's
hits
people in there.
Jorge in the face, and he's like, "Hey!" And you see the kid sitting in the front, like this, pressed against the other window, looking out across the way. He's like, "Cool! It's like out of one of those movies, out of one of those experiences. Oh, this is fucking cool." And Jorge's like, "Language."
Give us a hand with Twonky, someone.
Like, Bob's
Get
got
him
a
on
rocket
board.
launcher. Where did Bob get a rocket launcher? He like half turns. He doesn't fully turn. But he's like, hey. And Jorge's like, sorry, like, what is going on? This thing.
I'm more annoyed now because Atticus is gathering his own followers, not mine. It's all about Blake. But I will go back and help put Twonky in the van.
As
you're getting
rolling Twonky through the dirt to get him into you bump his head a few times on the steps on the way down. Get my revenge on him for an earlier game a long time ago, and I wasn't present, and my character was catatonic, and he decided to bump my character's head on things. You bump his head on the stairs on the way down, or on the door frame as you go into the back of the. No, you get Twonky in, and they both kind of look at Twonky like, "What? Why isn't he working?"
18.3 hours, mate. He's recharging.
Oh, right. Well, don't move him then. Don't move him anymore. He says, just let him rest. But look, cool. Yeah. And as you're kind of getting it all in and close the door, everyone gets in. All the doors are shut. Atticus, you're like, I'm doing the last check. Yep, cool. You think, oh shit, just check the tires. Yep. And as you go to get back in, you hear a distant voice, an old man shout from across the valley, "Help."
Is that coming from the location of where the rocket was launched from?
Roughly that side, yeah. "Help! Help me! Help, please!"
Is there like line of sight? Could we look through the binoculars and see him being devoured by the zombie things, or just
The zombie things aren't that close to him. They seem to be pushing against, so it's still leaning against this imperceptible field, right? That it looks like it's trying to get through.
If I drove, am I able
It looks
to drive
like it's
to
like-
their RV?
Like it looks weird. Like it looks, Sorry,
It's-
Rob.
No, am I able to drive to their RV is one. And
Yeah, you could drive
two,
down to the town and then up the other side where you walked up previously.
And would that put me? Would I remain within the sonic
Yeah.
defense?
It goes
thing?
round the outside of all the pitches and the cabins. It's not circular. It's kind of potato shaped, but
Sure. Rail, we go get.
Yeah, we got room in the van, right? We could pick him up.
Blake, never mind. Let's go.
Okay, so you jump in and you do a Yui, turn the van round, and head down. And as you come down into the town, most of the people have gone, right? They've jumped in their cars and they've driven off. And Zip has woken up and he's like staggering around, like looking around. The other stoners have disappeared. Rufus is like throwing all his gear down and he's coming out of the restaurant and he's like, what? This isn't supposed to happen, man. Like big dude knows the rules, right? Big dude knows. We turn the thing on, he goes away. Like, I need to talk to Anna. And he starts heading over towards the office. And you're kind of coming down in the van. And he's shouting and screaming. And you've got one of the windows is wound down. So you kind of hear him as you go past. Don't know if you're going to stop and talk to him or you're just going to keep going.
No, this isn't a time for polite conversation. And it's also not a time for checking the office. So, go on.
Unless, does it look like there are abandoned cars? Like, have people just left cars here?
There is a car, yes.
Because we've only got we've got half a tank of fuel.
And Trey Stevens is standing outside the restaurant. It's like, seems to be like looking around, and he's heading off in that direction, the same direction you're going. And he like tries to flag you down as you go past.
Blake is not above liberating fuel from a car for the greater good. It's not the greater good, it's Blake's good. If you promise to come back for him.
Wow, you're asking a lot there, Blake.
I'll have fuel.
Oh, yeah.
We'll
Don't
come
be
back for the
rude.
fuel.
Yeah. It will be attached to me.
Sure thing. I
So
absolutely good.
you stop and let Blake out. Jorge says, "Look, if you're going up there, I'm sorry, but like, I don't think I can take Luca up there.
No.
I'll stay with what was your name again?"
Mine? Oh, he's got a hose and a gas canister. He's like fuming.
Yeah.
This thing is upstaging
Blaze.
him.
That was it. Blaze. Sorry, we'll stay with Blaze. Right.
So many things are upsetting this poor little.
As you
Jorge.
stop and Blake jumps out, Trey runs over and he's like, "Are you heading up there?"
Yeah, Trey. We are. Get in. Don't get in the
He
way.
jumps in. He pulls a
Don't get in the
large
way.
gun out of his pocket and like checks it and then puts it back in it.
Yeah. Keep it holstered and keep the safety on.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. You can tell he's got that. He's trying to cover nerves with a bit of bluster. And the three of you, and are you leaving Twonky in the van, or are you going to ditch him out at the town? He's probably too heavy, and you're not thinking about it. Maybe.
No.
Okay.
He's gonna have to stay.
Like in the back seats of the van, he's just
It's like
rigidly
staring out of one window,
straight.
and as you're driving up, he's staring. The reflection of the thing is on the window of him. And you're driving up, and you go past, pitch 1 empty, pitch 2, the kind of dishevelled tent. It's just been left behind. Obviously, he just like jumped out of there with his kid as quickly as he could, and they've run down with whatever they could take. And then as you head up, you can hear assault rifle fire.
Dude!
And as you get up to level with the RV, you can see that he has put something across the door so that it's barred. Yeah, on the outside of the door. And he's not there, right? His thing is all kicked over. There's still a little ice bucket with some beers in it. But like there's something over the door, so it can't be opened from the inside. And he's not there. But the RV is sitting there and the lights are on inside. Did it just wobble?
Yeah, Margot was still plugged in, wasn't she? Is it trying to take her? Oh, this is not going to be good. Can we, like we heard rifle fire, can we determine as to where that's coming from?
Yeah, you think it's kind of up in the trees, a bit behind the pitch. You can see the creature now through the trees, and the weird like noises and creaks and the moving of motors, and you can see the cords kind of dangling around, and then they all kind of shuffle in a direction, and then they move, and then they shuffle in a direction, and it's kind of trying to push. It's obviously this electromagnetic field is stopping it in some way, but it's slowly, you realize now it's slowly coming forward, right? From before, it looked at the distance, you couldn't really tell how much, but it's just moving a little bit. You think it's probably going to be inside the thing fairly soon. You've probably got minutes.
What Rail? What do you think's the deal with the woman in there?
Well, they were neurocasting in there, weren't they? That was their whole setup in there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So I bet if he's barred it from the outside, he's trying to prevent something from inside getting out. So he's probably trying to contain Margot in there. Maybe Margot was caught.
Oh.
In the snare of Big Dude, or Big Dude, Big Dude.
So,
there.
So Bob isn't gonna leave here.
No, he's trying to save Margot. Is there some way we can shut the equipment off from the outside? Like, not saying I would like do that, but can we?
Do you know what happens to people when you turn off their neurocasting stuff when they're in it?
No. Something good?
Dennis does. The Rail probably doesn't.
Yeah, that's true.
Neither Rob.
It's probably not good, right? It's probably not good.
Probably not good.
There is a power, like there's a power, there's like a stand with a pipe for water and a big socket thing for like plugging your RV into kind of thing in each of these pitches. So there is like some provision of power if you're there. So he's clearly plugged into the mains. But these things often have, batteries as well to kind of keep themselves going for a while. So you could probably unplug that, but it would just keep going on its own battery, right?
Is there a window that I looked through the other day? Is it?
You're going to go over to the RV then?
No, is the window that I looked through? Is it big enough to get in? To climb?
Yes, yes, it is. The curtain behind it is kind of moving in an abrupt fashion.
Rail, one of us needs to go and get Bob, and one of us needs to look after Margot.
Bob duty. I'll go for Bob.
Okay, Trey, go with Rail.
I don't want to fight the cyber zombie. I'm going to go after Bob.
Yeah, no. Trey, do what you got to do. I don't have time for you.
I'm going after Bob. I want to see this bit in action.
Cool. So Trey goes off with Rael, and I will try and scoot round and get in, break a window, get in through the window. I don't know.
Are you going to So there are windows sort of all the way around this thing, right?
Okay.
There's even curtains in the front, right? so you can like close the whole thing up, the windscreen, right? You can sense as you get closer, you can hear like boom, 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 right? And you can see that at the back, one of the windows, something is banging against the window on the inside of the curtains, so you can't see what it is. Yeah.
I think I know.
But there are other windows around the outside. They've all got curtains around them, but you could probably pry one of them open and get a look inside if you wanted.
I would like to do that thing.
Okay, let's have a...
No, dice.
Is it strength? Sorry, we're just
realised.
role-playing so much, I've forgotten about all the mechanics. Let's have a strength roll. You're going to do it, right? But this is just kind of like how long it takes you to like force it open. And how far Rial will have to go before you open Pandora's box.
Sorry, I've left my iPad in another room, and so I just have to Google dice roll. Oh, I'm going to use the one in Garblag thingy.
Oh.
On the Garblag Discord.
In Gartopia.
Yeah.
Links
Dice
below.
is there. Rolls 3d6. So you can all see along with me when I flub this. Roll 654.
6.
Yeah.
That's what we wanted.
654. Okay. Right, you succeed. So it's not going to take you that long to pry it open. You kind of get round the side. You find you've got a jack or something in the van, and you kind of get a little bar or a knife or something you find. Oh, you probably got a knife, right? Survival knife or something. That's fine. Or yeah, Trey lends you his knife, and you go over and you start prying the window off. And Rial and Trey start heading into the woods, and Trey's like saying to Rial, like, what have you? He's trying to size you up, what weapon you've got, whether you want to be next to each other, further apart. Should we spread out a bit and head through the trees? I think the sound's coming up from that direction. What do you want to do?
Just follow the sound.
Okay.
And don't get spotted by horrible zombies nor big dude. Is as far as I've planned.
Sure. So you kind of climb up a bit of a rise, and it dips back down beyond, and you can see there Bob standing with like various weapons on the floor. He's got an AK-47 in his hands. There's a rocket launcher on the floor, and there seems to be some sort of automatic shotgun. I'm not sure about what model it would be in 1997, but anyway, on the floor, and he's kind of standing there, and he's going, no, he's firing away, and you can see now beyond him, through the trees, come these figures, and they're clearly now inside the field, but they can't get too far because the big drone itself is still being held back. It's pushing, edging slowly. You watch as a tree, it's pushing up against, falls over as it kind of moves beyond it, and you sense that in just a few minutes this thing will be inside and able to just trundle up with its tank tracks. But a few of these figures are coming in, and he's firing up. He's not firing low, and he's firing up, and he's kind of suddenly stops, and he goes, no, what, and he starts running towards it.
I'll shout at him like, Bob, what? Don't.
He stops and he turns around and he goes, Brad! And he runs towards the thing.
What?
Right?
Okay, as that happens, Atticus, you like pop the window, yeah, and you kind of yank it out, and you kind of whoosh, open the curtains from the outside, and you look in, and inside this RV, there's a sleeper, there's a bed, there's a little toilet unit to one side, there's a kitchen, there's kitchenette, I should say, and all that kind of stuff. But there's weapons all over the place, right? There's guns, assault rifles, various things. Nothing, there's no like howitzer type things. But you are pretty sure you see like a one-shot rocket launcher like over to one side. And there's a little doorway into the bedroom at the back, right? So there's like a sleeping section at the back. Not massive in there, obviously. And there's a figure in there with a Neurocaster on, bashing against the back wall, seemingly sort of mindlessly bashing into the wall. And as you look around, you're kind of, used to taking a lot of information quite rapidly. You see a missing poster, Reyes Creek Campground, Brad, answers to Brad, and it's like a photocopied, crappy old wanted thing that looks like it's written in Rufus's handwriting, like pinned to the fridge, right, just there, visible. It's kind of stark. It's kind of on its own for a reason, and you can see these guns and stuff lying around, and the place looks like a bit of a mess. And there's what you assume is Margot in the back, a Neurocaster zombie bashing her head against the wall. What would you like to do?
Well, can I pistol whip her?
You'd have to climb in and make your way through and get up to her without her noticing, which would require an agility roll.
Yeah, I'll do that. I would like to get in there and, is she conscious, or is she just sort of this, is it a repetitious just walk into a wall, step
You're
back,
not
walk
sure.
into a wall? I can't see that yet.
Not what you can see right now is her trying to, the shortest line possible, get towards the big dude.
I almost feel like one of two things has happened. Either they've set her up deliberately as bait to summon the thing, or this has just been an accident. But yeah, no, that's what's happened. I've decided that's what's happened.
Okay, cool.
I will. Thank you. I will attempt to get in there and render her unconscious.
Okay. Let's have an agility roll then. It's going to be quite difficult for you to do it without her
Sure.
noticing you.
Roll 66. Dun, 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 dun. One success.
Okay. So, you climb in. You slide through this small window, bracing your weight on a counter just below you. And you kind of pull yourself in and go down onto a little sofa seat quietly. And you go into the, so step into the room. It looks like she was probably sitting in here. This cable was leading from this room back into the bedroom. And now on the side of the RV that you couldn't see from your vantage point, there's a load of hardware and gear, computer stuff. And like some sort of signal boosting equipment that you've seen in the old days in your time in the war, right? And all the there's cabling to her Neurocaster, and it's kind of going out. It looks like when you go somewhere to the local library and you can go in a Neurocaster, it looks like one of those. They've got a big cable into a thing, A, so you can't nick it, but B, also it's lower power. It doesn't have to be a remote unit. It's not a fancy modern Neurocaster. It's slightly older, but being upgraded for mode 6.
Boo.
Yeah. So you can see her in there, and you kind of make your way through, and you're kind of standing in the doorway to this bedroom, and you see a map on the bed, which has got like the campground circled on the map, and the route that they've taken. They've been on a journey too, and this is where it's led them. And you've seen there's other circles on the map. It seems to be other campgrounds, and a couple of other locations. And she's just like bashing into the wall Let's see if she notices that you're there. Doesn't seem to notice that you're there. Low wits for zombies. And it's just like, poof, poof, and that occasionally now the arms start to move, but almost like someone's figuring out how arms work. Like,
Yeah, that's not good.
we'll cut back to Rial. Rial, this old dude, right? He has become quite spry. He has jumped toward and running towards them, and he seems to be heading towards one particular sleeper.
And he's calling out Brad.
Calling out Brad.
So he must have recognized Brad for some reason. I'll set off after him and attempt to tackle him before he gets in contact with.
Let's have an agility roll off with
right.
with an 80-year-old man. Right. I am going to say he's got agility 2. Right.
Well, that's fun. So do I.
Right, okay. Here we go. Let's roll. Oh, so close. 4 and a 5. Oh, you got one success. Okay.
1 6.
Right, this is the most action you've seen an 80-year-old man undertake in a while. But once you start running, you realise he's not running that fast. And there's logs in the way, it's woodland. So he's kind of running, and you get to him and jump on him. And Trey has gone down to inspect the weapons.
Of course, yes. Good boy.
Yep. And then, Bob's like, no, let me go. He's right there. Look, he's right there. Look, damn it. Look, I can get him. It's worked. I can get him.
They're not people anymore, Bob. They're just parts now. We get back to your weapons.
He looks at you with rage in his eyes. Don't say that. Never say that. It's still him. I know it is. It must be.
All his friends say otherwise. None of them come back. Look at them.
But,
really, look at them.
But this has been everything. Let me go. I have to go to him. I have to try. How can I not try when he's right there?
He's not, though.
Yeah.
Physically.
How do you know? And he tries to fight you off. So let's make a strength roll. He's okay. He's got 3 strength, right? Because he's not, but he's old, right?
Yeah.
How much strength have you got?
5.
5. Okay, right. Here we go. Let's see what we get.
This is where I fail against an 80-year-old man.
I got 1 success.
Oh, one went on the floor. I'll roll that one again.
You can push, obviously, but then
I will push.
You lose a point of hope.
I will have to push.
I believe that's right. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yep.
I think so. Do I roll all 5 or just the ones that failed?
It's just the ones that failed.
Just the ones that failed.
Just the ones that failed.
Did you roll a 1 on any of those?
Yes.
Oh no, that's gear dice.
No,
isn't
we've
it?
got
That's
no gear,
dice.
so it's
You haven't got any
fine.
gear dice for this.
But I remain at 1 strength against an 80-year-old man.
So you got 1 success.
1 success.
And I got 1 success. So you're like at stalemate. He's starting to get away from you, and he's like, "Get off me! How can I not go to him? He's my son. He's here. Look, he's here. He's right there. I need to go to him." And he's trying to fight you off.
I will get a little bit more frustrated, and a little bit more forceful, I think. This is not your fucking son anymore. This is a tool.
Are you scaring him?
Yes, that's my intention.
Okay. Cool. You got to try and intimidate him. How does that one work?
Well, apparently I'm menacing, and I can use my strength. I can use my strength plus 2 to try to intimidate him.
Okay. Now that you got this stalemate, I'll let you try and intimidate him into giving up.
Cool.
I'm going to roll empathy against that though. I feel this opposed roll is a must.
Yeah.
Oh, 1, 2, 2, 3. Even my funky 12-sided d6s didn't work then.
I have 1 success.
Okay. He starts crying, and he's like, "No, we worked so hard, and Margot," and he looks at you. He's like, "Margot," and we cut
Yes.
back. We cut back to Atticus in the RV. I
Yeah,
assume you're going to try and bash her over the head.
yeah, but to render her unconscious, not to render her dead.
Well, we'll see what happens. Okay. So you need to make a strength. Have you got a weapon?
Yeah, I have a handgun, and I have the pistolier skill, but
Oh, okay.
unfortunately it says only when firing the pistol.
Okay. Well, I will say that the handgun counts as a gear die.
Mhm.
Yeah, because you've got something hard to hit her with.
Sure.
And your strength.
Uh,
Because you're just bashing someone over the head, right?
yeah, so that'll be 4d6 total.
Okay.
Do you need to know which is the gear dice?
Yes.
It'll be the oh, I can't do that. I'll roll 1d6
Next it
first.
does it will be the last one.
Yeah, no thanks. I'll roll 1d6. That's
Put
gear
them in
dice.
numerical order.
Oh, for God's sake. Roll 1d6. That's a 3, so that's,
Not broken, but not helpful.
no.
Okay.
542. No successes. I wish to push it for hope.
Okay.
Do I roll the gear dice again also?
Yes.
Yes. And
Roll
if you roll a
1d6.
1, then you damage it.
I did not roll. I haven't rolled anything good. Roll 3d6. I also did not roll anything good. So have I lost a point of hope or something?
Yes.
You have lost a point of hope.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
I lost a point of hope and I failed.
And you go to bash her, and she just moves at the wrong moment, and you whack the neurocaster on her head. And
Second
turns
time.
around. This kind of horrible guttural noise. This 75-year-old woman with a neurocaster on, who's now her body kind of twitching as all the neural connections throughout her, this new circuitry are being examined. And her body's doing, in the horror films where they like kind of do like weird stuff. It's probably good Aldin's not here for this episode. And like its arms like in a rictus like suddenly shoots out like to hit you. And we roll these. And I have 1 success. Right, damage. You take 1 point of damage
Right.
as this kind of bony claw of a hand kind of like you think you feel like maybe her finger just broke from punching me in the face that hard.
So, sorry, is she she wasn't already dead or anything. She doesn't look like a literal corpse,
She
does
doesn't
she?
look like a corpse.
No, she just looks like someone who's being taken over by the thing.
Yes.
Sort of. Yeah, sorry, no spoilers. Yeah, okay.
I think our viewers might be clued into that.
Yeah, okay. As long as we're on the same page. Yeah, okay, thanks.
Okay, right. So, what do you want to do?
My option, I need her to stop summoning the thing. So I need to try and render her unconscious again. Can I actually?
There's a
an
quick way
assault
with your
rifle.
gun to do that.
Yeah, that's. There's an assault rifle nearby, isn't there?
There is. There's a rocket
Yeah,
launcher nearby.
I think
Rocket
subdual-
launch, Margot.
Yeah, but I
Through the
only want
window.
to do. It will only be subdual damage with my rocket launcher. Okay?
Yeah, non-lethal rocket launcher.
Set it.
Yeah.
Set it to non-lethal.
Yeah, rocket launcher to
Just blows
start.
bubbles.
Right, yeah, I'll literally pick up the assault rifle and whack her in the head. So if I do break this, it's not mine anyway.
Oh, right. So you're still using it like an improvised club.
Yes, I don't
Okay,
want
it's
to
the
shoot
same-
her.
It's the same effect as using your pistol.
Yeah. So,
But are you trying to get an assault rifle in your hands? Is that more the goal?
You might think that. I couldn't
Okay.
possibly comment.
You pick up the assault rifle and you whack her with it.
Yeah.
I
So
would
that's for the
say
duck.
+1 to get 1 gear die.
Thank you. Which I'd blown. It wasn't a 1. And oh, look, an actual success.
Okay. So you whack her for 1 point of damage. Because it's an improvised weapon, right? So you like whack her, and there's like there's still some autonomic stuff going on in there. So there's like an inner yelp as she falls backwards, bleeding.
Yeah, I mean, I do feel bad about this, but what you gonna do?
Sorry, say that again.
I do feel bad about basically assaulting a 75-year-old, but war is hell.
Yeah. If you want to try and, what you could do is you could try and subdue her physically.
Yes.
Instead of
right.
like bashing her to death, you could like, I will hold her down and tie her up, kind of thing. You could try.
Oh,
that.
yes, yes, restraint. That's much more subtle. Yeah, I mean, next round.
But we'll go back to Rial.
Yeah.
So Rial, he's just looked at you like, Margot. We thought I didn't think it would actually get her. I thought it would just come and we would find him finally.
Yeah.
He kind of looks at you, and Trey walks over.
Right. Think of what you have left. I hope.
He's got an
Thinks
assault
Ra-
rifle in one
thinks Real.
hand and a rocket launcher in the other.
Mhm.
And he's like, let's take this motherfucker down. And he kind of puts the rocket launcher on his shoulder.
Go
I'm
for
tempted
it.
to roll to see if he puts it the wrong way around. But he doesn't. He puts it on his shoulder and he fires.
Sweet. Do we know what backblast is, and have we stood clear?
He's not standing right next to you or in front
Good.
of you. He's kind of slightly like that little rise that he's kind of stood on top of it, trying to look kind of like badass, with the rifle and a rocket launcher, and goes through the gap in the middle
Ah,
and flies out the other side. And he's like, "Fuck!" and he throws it down on the ground, and he's like, "Right, let's go!" And he's like, he starts firing at the thing. As you help Bob up, I assume.
yeah.
I'll
Drag
cover
him.
you, he says. Get out of here. And he starts looking down at the shamblers coming through, and he's like,
Come on, Bob. Think about what you have left. Think what is still here.
Blake,
Y-
you're down at the car park, right?
Yeah.
And you can now hear like machine gun fire going on as you're like you got the last bit of the gas out of the other car ready to use in the van if you need to. And the others are kind of sort of hiding in the restaurant waiting for you to like be ready. And that, as you're kind of curious, right, and you kind of shuffle over to one side and you can see this thing up on the rise, and every now and then there's little sparks off of it, like little flies or gnats are like glancing off of its armor. Is there anything you wanted to do?
Like, it's too far for me to run up there with the gas to the van.
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah. No,
But
it's gonna.
the car, you could hotwire this car. Although you've just taken all the gas out, you haven't taken all the gas out.
Yeah, there'll still be some I can't
Right.
can't
So you
believe.
could jump in this car, hotwire it, which I know you've done before,
Yeah,
Right.
Blake's done that before.
and drive up to the top. I'm happy for you to be doing that while they're doing the rocket launcher bit.
Um,
Or you can wait there and
Yeah, no, I don't think he's brave enough to go and
Okay,
he's gonna just sort of try and I know he should go and help, but he's not.
it's okay.
He's not a helper.
You don't have to help. That's
He's
fine.
not helping.
These guys can have a bit more tension with you.
Yeah.
That's cool. You do Anna. You hear Anna and Rufus talking, and Rufus is like, "Why isn't it working?" And she's like, "I don't know. I used the same frequency that we did last night and every other time, and it hasn't done anything. Someone must be doing something." Like, and she's like, "That bloody local Neuroscape. We should just shut that thing down." And she starts to go over towards the electricity substation.
Yeah, I'll go and stick my nose in that. Well, no, not literally. Sorry, poor words.
She sees you
Atticus.
coming over. Are they? Is it your guys are up there?
Well, yeah, they went because the old man was shouting. Because
Bob, didn't he come? Why didn't he just head on out? He's got wheels.
I don't know. Attachment to the physical realm. Whatever.
Okay.
Shut down the Neuroscape and maybe it'll go away.
Well, I mean, that was like something like Atticus said something about that. I don't know.
Come on then, let's go.
Okay. She goes over to the electricity substation and it's got this gate all the way around it. And she's like, now, like, you can't fuck around in here, yeah? Like, there's live shit in here. There's one of those danger of death. I don't know if they have the same things in America. I'm sure they've got the equivalent. Like, if you go in here and touch
Peligro
stuff,
de muerte.
you are going to die. And she unlocks the gate. And she kind of, as she does, you can see in now. There's all the gubbins, but there's also built into it the kind of network stuff for a node, and it's kind of powered up. And she's like, I've never touched this thing. The locals come and maintain it. It's just attached to this power source, right? Which is, I assume, why this is here, and this whole
All right, so
field is here, and
he's gonna put down the flammable liquid outside of the cage.
good idea.
You know, put that down. Is there a handy baseball bat, stick, crowbar,
Sure.
anything like that?
Yeah,
I'd
that's
prefer
like
it not to be a crowbar, but you know, we'll take that risk.
the mock Western thing. There's a loose plank, like piece of wood that you pull
Mop,
off.
anything like that,
Yeah.
like as what's his face
Sure.
left him. And he's just going to be like, all right then, I've trashed shit before, and just go and just smack it with a stick.
Okay, right, cool.
No caution, just like
let's
fine.
have a strength roll
Okay.
from Blake.
Do I get a gear bonus or do I just no?
Yeah, why not? A die
bonus.
for but it's only got a +1 bonus. So if you break it, it's broken.
Yeah. Just a one-use thing.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, I got a success from using it, and then a success from my so 2 successes
Oh, cool. Okay,
as he has a on-stage tantrum,
okay.
smashing a guitar.
Yes, you're like,
Yeah.
smash this the hardware for the node, and you give it a good couple of whacks. This bit of wood is taking a bit of, but you're like, this is pretty tough. Smash, 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 and after a few whacks, this thing sort of goes, starts flickering, and you can see there's a little screen at the bottom that says power interruption. And then it turns off.
Excellent. And I drop the stick, leave the area, and go and sit on a bench and wait for Atticus to drive my van up.
And as that happens, Atticus, you're in the RV, and Margot drops to the floor.
Can I detach her from the thing? Well, is she conscious or unconscious or?
She's There's no pulse.
Okay. Well, I'm going to take the thing off and start
Okay.
CPR.
Okay, cool. So you do that. Rial,
Hmm.
you watch as suddenly, not quickly, but like the thing sort of stands up almost straight and starts to move away slowly. You realise that the hum is still there. It's still been going on this whole time. And Bob's like, no, they go, and he's just like, he just puts his head in his hands and starts crying. He's like, all this time, we've wasted all this time trying to find him, and I can't even, and he just runs after him. And Trey just says, let him go, dude.
No, I can't. I
Okay.
chase him again.
Okay. You grab him easily, right? You grab
Okay.
him and you restrain him. And you struggle him back to the RV. And the abomination and all the people, Brad included, that have been absorbed by this entity go off into the woods. And probably don't return, but you guys will never find out. Bob comes back to the RV, and Atticus, you have resuscitated Margot, and she's in some sort of coma. Yeah, and he's like, we need to get her to a hospital quick, otherwise she's gonna die. And Bob is like, and Trey says to you, I know a nearby doctor that can help. He says it kind of weirdly.
Well, I will step out of the van casually with an assault rifle in my hand.
Sure. Bob runs in and he's like, Margot, no, and he's like crying. And Trey's like, okay, well, I'll take care of this, he says to you, Atticus. And there's like a strange confidence in his voice that wasn't there before. And he steps inside the RV and he shuts the door. And
Take care in what way?
and Atticus and Rial, you're kind of standing there outside the RV. There's no gunshots or anything.
Okay.
The engine starts up and he starts maneuvering the vehicle. He'd also brought back with him the assault rifle that he'd had before.
Well, that seems to... And what's happened to the big dude?
Seems to be wandering off. Seems to
Right.
have given up interest. It just went upright, gave up the struggle, and turned around. Went back into the woods.
I think then it's time for us to go in the opposite direction.
Agreed.
Yeah, I'll get in the van and then
Okay,
start it.
turn it around. So you guys drive down to the town area, and all the guests have fled. And with Big Dude leaving, Rufus and Anna are kind of talking in the office, and you can hear them kind of arguing about how safe it is and what if it is and what if it is. Maybe this is done. And you can see Blake there looking pretty pleased with himself, sitting on the boot of this car, the trunk of this car, I should say, smoking a joint that he got off Zip earlier on. And you kind of roll up with the van, and Rufus and Anna step out, and Anna's like, look, I understand if you guys don't want to stay here another night. Like, I think you've probably just got rid of it for good, but I mean, she looks around, the whole place is suddenly empty, but like, I'm not sure how much longer we'll be able to stay here or keep it up. So like, you know, the RV comes rumbling down the thing, like really fast. Doesn't stop, goes past your vehicle, and goes off out the exit road and just heads off. And she's like, what's... Were Bob and Margot okay then?
Pass.
And what happened to Trey?
Trey has seen combat now, and he has become more sure of himself. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but he has. So I don't know if we want to go into any more detail than that.
That's cool. Rufus comes out of the office and is like, you guys missed all the fun. Blake here totally destroyed that node, man. That thing went down. The minute that went down, big dude went away. Like, Blake. It's Blake, right? Blake, you're a fucking hero.
Unfortunately, now he agrees. Yeah. And probably more annoying, he doesn't say anything. Just nods and smiles.
Okay.
He's going to put the gas canister in the back of the wagon.
Okay. So you've got some gas. You've got an assault rifle. You're a bit wiser, and you'll clamber into the van. And Jorge and Luca come over and say, "Can you give us? Can you take us with you?"
Yes.
Yeah, I see no point in why not.
Jorge's like,
But-
someone stole my car.
Stole your
Yeah.
car.
Yeah, I don't know. Someone stole my car.
Who
That's
would
awful.
steal a vehicle in these days?
Who would
Says
do that at a
Blake.
time like this?
Pushing the child and the man into his van, shutting the door.
So you all
Sitting-
clamber into the van, and you see Rufus kind of a bit confused about what to do. He's kind of like going over towards the restaurant as if he's going to go and tidy up all the detritus of the day. Maybe they can hope that other people will come and stay at the Reyes Creek campground. They won't know about Big Dude at all, and maybe they'll stay for a while and trade will pick up again, but who knows. But you guys no longer care. You've stopped there for a short while, but now you've got to move on and continue your journey. And that is the end of our session tonight. And next time we will pick up stop 2, and we will go on from there. We'll be a little bit further along our journey in a slightly more urban environment, but I won't spoil it for you, and I'm looking forward to the next one. Cool. Okay. Did we do experience at the end of a stop?
I believe so. What happens to Hope? Is Hope like scene related or?
No, you can restore hope by reducing tension.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So you got to make friends with
With Blake.
Blake.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Blake needs to make friends with
Yeah,
Twonky.
right. Okay.
No, Twonky's off, so you can make friends with an off
I know
Twonky.
but that's delicious, isn't it? Right. So Blake has had this massive tantrum at Twonky. Twonky doesn't even know,
Yep.
and Twonky's just going to get Blake apologizing or making nice at some point
Absolutely.
for something he doesn't even realize about.
Yep.
Yeah, tension doesn't need to be mutual, does it?
No.
No,
Yeah.
it doesn't, which is cool. Yeah, that's very good. Let me just have a little look quickly. We're at the end of the video, so if anyone watching back has got this far, thank you very much for sticking with us. Starting the session. NPC. Playing scenes. Improv. Oh no. We'll dig it out. I'm not sure there's that much that goes on with experience, to be honest. It's more about the journey. But I'll have a look up in between. Sorry, go on.
I got a bigger gun, so
Well, hey, there you go.
I've leveled up.
That's cool. So thank you very much, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed that. I very much did. It's what I needed on a day after not feeling great all day at work, and come home and do some cool role playing. It's good fun.
Yeah.
Thank you to all of our viewers and all of you watching back on YouTube. There's lots of links below. I'm not going to go through it all right now, but you know what to do. Go check it out. Please do hit like, and please comment about what you like about the Electric State, or what I did wrong, or what you didn't like about the story, or what you did like about the story. Whatever you want to do, put a comment. Every comment is a comment. Cool. Okay. Well, we're going to be back in
New Year's Eve.
not New Year's Eve, but after that, we will figure out when we'll be back and come back with a date for our next episode for Stop 2. In the meantime, we have on Friday on the YouTube channel. So obviously, if you're watching this back after Friday, you can just go and check it out now. We have got the Discworld. Part one of it's a two associated episodes that Rich is running on the channel, and on Garblag, and we're going to release it on Friday, and then streaming on the Lollygaggers on Saturday for the second associated half. So keep an eye out for that, and we'll be sharing more information on the Discord on Gartopia tomorrow or the next day, depending on how well my kids have behaved in the evenings, mainly how much I get to interact with things. And also everyone should go and check out Heroic Deeds. Heroic Deeds is cool. It's my game. It's cool. Please check it out. It's cool. And also I've got a stall at UK Games Expo, so I will be there as Garblag Games with books and things to sell. So come and visit me. Millie, would you know when the UK Games Expo is?
It might be in 164 days from recording.
Okay.
It's 30th of May to the 2nd of June.
Cool. Yep.
2025.
Is it like somewhere civilized, or is it not in London?
It's in the NEC in Birmingham, which
for
is
God's
approximately 2 hours travel from anywhere in the UK by public transport.
Okay.
It is. It's in the middle
It has
of
a
the
train
UK.
station and an airport.
The train station is in the NEC.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
It's almost like I know a little bit about this event. It's
Yeah,
funny.
it's strange that, isn't it?
Funny.
So yeah, I've yet to pay my invoice, but hey, we'll sort that out before the end of the month. Cool. Okay, so thank you very much. That was part 2 of A Missing Boy, and we will see you next time on Garblag Games. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye bye.